There are no words for exactly how much I love this game. I mean, it's more like Ico than Shadow of the Colossus, and that's great because I did really like Ico. I know Shadow of the Colossus is the popular one because it's got the giant monsters that you have to climb up and kill, but I think there's something to be said about the quiet intimacy that is Ico and now The Last Guardian. I think part of the disappointment with it is that it took 7 years, and it definitely can't live up to 7 years of work, and I agree. I don't think it should have taken 7 years, no matter how good I think the game is. One of the major issues I'm seeing from a lot of people, from the little research that I've done, is that Trico isn't responsive. Trico doesn't respond to anything, and they think that's a fault on the AI, but I have to kind of disagree. It feels like more of a design choice. It feels like the artists and the game designers really wanted that to be a thing, and I see why. It gives Trico a mind of its own, and I think that's kind of the point of the whole game, is that Trico is not your pet. Trico is not your AI buddy. He's just a creature that happens to follow along. But Trico has a mind of its own. It's scared of its own things. It eats its own things. It sleeps when it wants to. It doesn't sleep when it doesn't want to. And sometimes there's a lot of moments of the game where Trico just takes over and you're not controlling anything.
Trico! Iadia no Kitty! Ari! Inik!
And there's a reason why they made it so that you don't directly control Trico. In a world where we have games like Titanfall, where you can control a giant mech, Mind Hack, or something like that, where you can directly control another character, this is different. This is different because you don't ever directly control Trico. There are some games where you can send animals off to do things, like in Metal Gear Solid 5, where you can send D-Dog or D-Horse or someone else to do something for you, and then they'll come back and give you what they want. But this isn't that. Trico is literally supposed to be a living, breathing creature all on its own, regardless of whether you're there or not. And the whole point is that this living, breathing creature decides to stay with you because it trusts you and it cares about you. And I think that really gets emphasized. Now, I do get it. When you're trying to solve a puzzle, it gets really frustrating when Trico doesn't do what you say. And it can seem like the AI is a bit finicky at times, and I do agree with that. However, because this game is so slow-paced, and it really takes to heart the more quiet, intimate moments, that I don't think it really matters so much that Trico's AI isn't perfect, because it's not like a game like Call of Duty where every split-second decision matters. If you take your time with this game, if you take your time to enjoy it, I think that you can get a lot out of it. Even Trico's, let's say, defiance. It reminded me a bit of Pokemon when you're playing with a Pokemon that's too high leveled, like one that you get from a trade or something and it doesn't do what you tell it to do. It's sort of that thing. And yeah, it can be really frustrating, and I get it, but I feel like that's a design choice. I don't feel like that's just an overlooked kind of thing. I think Trico literally is supposed to be defiant. It's supposed to not do what you say all the time. Because it's supposed to be its own creature. It's supposed to have a mind of its own. And I think there are certain few points in the game that really emphasize that. Last Guardian has reviewed pretty well in a lot of outlets, so that makes me feel a bit good about it. And I hope that people can enjoy it as much as I did. Was it worth the 7-year wait? Probably not. But I'm still very glad that it exists. It's a game that deserves to exist, and it's exactly what I expected it to be. It's a heartwarming tale. It reminds me a lot like a Miyazaki film. My favorite movie ever is Spirited Away. And I got that vibe going through it. I got that vibe of friendship, that vibe of heartwarming, these quiet moments where you can really just take in the serenity in the environment. And also these weird, grotesque moments where things are kind of unusual and you're not really sure what to do. When you're dealing with heartbreak, when you're dealing with bad relationships or bad moments in your life, and you have a game like this that's just so heartwarming, it can really make you smile and just make you enjoy the beauty that is The Last Guardian. So, never mind this game. Let's talk about games that I freaking hate. Final Fantasy Lightning Returns. I started playing it, and god damn it. I can't. I actually physically can't. I'm gonna try to play through the entire game. If I can't, then I'm gonna steal some videos off of YouTube of someone else playing through it, because it's hard, man. It's really hard. But I'm gonna try. But back to The Last Guardian. If you can enjoy a slow-paced game about friendship, and you don't mind the issues that I mentioned before, then I think you're gonna like it.
アクネティです投げのねぞオラディニーテトリコねぞ
Hi.